CGC Sports Illustrated, my name is Jim. It's time for another unboxing video. I've had a lot of unboxing videos lately, but don't let that lead you to the incorrect assumption that CGC is clearing out their backlog for their wait times. So, in fact, quite the opposite. Quick update on that. As most of you know, CGC instituted another price increase, their second in the last year. It went into effect on January 18th. And they gave us about a week or two notice before that went into effect. And so as you would expect, just like the last price increase in April, people rushed to get their books in before the price goes up. And of course, that's going to lengthen the wait times. So CGC has now officially gone over the 1 year wait time mark for the two entry-level tiers. You're looking at about 250 business days right now for both the economy and the modern tier. So, is what it is. Nothing we can do about it, but the wait times have gotten worse. That's the worst it's been. They started to go down a little bit there, and they were kind of around the 200-day area, and then the price increase came, and everybody, sent their books in. So we're officially at over 1 year wait time to get your magazines back. Do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe here on YouTube. Follow me on social media. I am on literally every single social media platform. It's the same username everywhere to make it easy, CGC Sports Illustrated. And then go ahead and subscribe to my podcast, wherever you get podcasts, CGC Sports Illustrated. Same thing there. Very interesting box today. 5 slabs, so it shouldn't take too long to go through them. Every single one of these slabs are first covers. All 5 first covers, all huge superstars. They're also all modern covers as well, and some big ones. Some really, couple of these could be absolute out of the park home runs. Fingers crossed. Lots of 9/8s, no 9/6s. First one up. Now I'm a little, okay. So if you saw my last unboxing video, I had one of these in there as well. And it was the same grade, 9.6. So this is Kobe Bryant's first Sports Illustrated cover. This is from April 27th, 1998. There are 5 9.8s. There are now 8 9.6s. There were 7 before today. There are 6 9.4s. It's Kobe Bryant. There are a ton of these graded. It is a huge cover for the modern issues. There's probably the 3 biggest first covers of modern issues are probably Mahomes, LeBron, and Kobe. And this is one of them, and I've talked about it before. I love how Magic Johnson is on this cover too. It's the passing of the torch from the 80s Showtime Lakers to the Kobe Bryant and Shaq Lakers of the 2000s. 9.6, I am going to say I'm disappointed in that because the one I got back on the last video was also a 9.6, and I don't see any flaws in this. Can't believe I'm complaining about a Kobe Bryant 9.6 first cover, but and I'm not. It's good. I need at least one 9.8 out of this box. I need at least one 9.8. Ooh, that's not gonna do it. That's not gonna do it. Oh, that's painful. Trevor Lawrence. Man, 9.6. I'm gonna keep harping on this. I know I keep doing it, but it does say first Trevor Lawrence cover on there. It's important, again, go back to watch my video before about first covers and variants and how those of us in the hobby need to be able to identify key issues so it shows up like that on the label. These issues didn't say first Trevor Lawrence cover on there until I sent this one in. Even though I've gotten this one graded before, and they didn't put it on there, but they did it on this request. And also, so you know, once somebody does that, all future issues from anybody that are graded will show that on there. So if you've got a Trevor Lawrence and you want to send it in, you don't have to go through the procedures of writing, first cover on a Post-it note and making a note on your packing slip and all that sort of stuff. Now this is officially according to CGC, his first cover, it'll always say it on the slab label, and it'll always say it in the census, so nobody else has to do that. Once one person does it for the hobby, the rest of us benefit, which is why it's so important. Trevor Lawrence, I own this at a 9.8. This is from January 14th, 2019. This is a variant. I've talked about this many, many times. First covers are great. It's even better when you can find one when it's a variant. There was another cover distributed this week by Sports Illustrated. It had Nick Foles from the Eagles on the cover. That makes this much more rare. Trevor Lawrence, first cover, more rare than a standard weekly issue because this is a variant cover. Trevor had a rough season. Urban Meyer was no help. I still think he's an absolute superstar in this league, and long term, big Trevor Lawrence fan, and think things are definitely going up from here for him. Can't go down. Geez, Jacksonville Jaguars get the first pick again. That's how bad they were this year. First pick last year took Lawrence. First pick this year. You'd think if they can draft even reasonably, should be a much better team next year. Okay, next up. Oh, that's a big one. Oh, this is great. Joe Montana, perfect timing. Got the NFL playoffs going on. The Niners are in it. Joe Montana, first cover, 9.4. Okay, let's talk about why this is so big. So this is from January 25th, 1982. So the Pop reports on this. There's one 9.6. If you go way back about 9 months or a year ago to one of my unboxing videos, you'll see that I was the one that got that 9.6. Now I sold that one. So for me to get this in my hands again as a 9.4 is absolutely huge. There are now, before today, there was one 9.4. There are now two 9.4 Joe Montanas. There are 4 9.0s, and it's Joe Montana, so there are a boatload of others graded out there. You don't need me to go through Joe Montana's resume for you. You all know he's awesome, and before Tom Brady came around, he was widely viewed as the greatest of all time. I'm a big Joe Montana fan because I'm a big Notre Dame fan, and Joe Montana went to Notre Dame and won the national championship there in 1977, so I'm always going to love Joe Montana. Now I'm a little bit annoyed at a 9.4 and that I couldn't get a 9.6 again like I had before, or maybe even a 9.8. But I'm thrilled with this. It says first Joe Montana cover on the label. One of these days, I'm not going to have to say that every single time that I pull a first cover out. But so few of them are labeled properly that I'm going to keep saying it for now. Joe Montana 9.4. Woo. Okay. These next two are big. These next two are really big. All three of those, I've owned those before. And still own some of them in other grades. These next two, I don't know what the grades are, but I know I've never owned them before, slabbed. And they're big, important. Okay, pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. Roger Clemens, first cover. This is from May 12th, 1986. This is a Pop 1 of 1, non-higher. There's one of these in the world. This is the highest graded copy of Roger Clemens' first cover, and it's sitting right here in my hands. There is an 8.0, there's a 6.5, there's some others. Look, this may not be the right thing to say. I don't care that he took steroids. I don't care that he's not in the Hall of Fame. When I was a kid, Roger Clemens was this big, strong, imposing pitcher that just struck guys out. I mean, this really was he was the first dominant pitcher from when I was a kid that I remember. I love him here in his Boston Red Sox uniform, again, back when he was there in 1986. Of course, we all remember when he struck out 20 players in one game, still a major league record today. He got caught up in the whole steroids era and probably will never be in the Hall of Fame, or at least not anytime soon. But in my opinion, he's still super collectible. And here you go. 9.0, Pop 1 of 1, none higher. Roger Clemens, first cover from May 12th, 1986. Oh, this is a great box. This is a great box. We had the Kobe 9.6, Trevor Lawrence 9.6, okay, whatever. Had the Montana first cover at a 9.4. I got a 9-0 Roger Clemens, pop 1 of 1, none higher. And we saved the best for last. Now, if I remember right, and I own a couple of copies of this one, so I'm not quite sure which one this is, and they're all at CGC being graded. I'm setting myself up for disappointment, because if I don't get a 9.8 on this, I'm going to be disappointed. I'm going to be disappointed. I want a 9.8. I need this in a 9.8. So here we go. Oh, man. Come on. CGC, what are you doing to me? This is the one I needed. That's a bummer. Still great. Still none higher. It's now a pop 1 of, I believe, this is a pop 1 of 1, none higher. And only 9.6. If you don't recognize this, Steph Curry's first cover. May 13th, 2013. This is also a variant. Sidney Crosby was on the other cover that Sports Illustrated distributed that week. I love variants, and I especially love first cover variants. So here you go, 9.6. It's a pop 1 of 1, none higher. I really wanted that 9.8. The only consoling thing for me is that this is still a pop 1 of 1, none higher. Highest graded copy in the world. And I'm sitting here holding it in my hands. And that was a good way to wrap up, because I had a pop 1 of 1, none higher with the Clemens, and now one with the Steph Curry first cover. Steph's just killing it. The Warriors look a lot better than they did last year. They're going to be making a run for the playoffs. Klay Thompson looks fantastic. Super hard issue to find in newsstand, and obviously tough to find in good condition, because there's never been a 9.8, despite the fact that it's only 9 years old and it's Steph Curry, and here's why. Look at all of this dark ink along the back, right along the spine, and a ton of dark ink right there along the spine. We talked about this before, especially for modern issues. Most of your downgrades happen along the spine, whether it's ink flaking off because it's been opened and closed and you get what's called spine stress, right where the front cover and back cover meet. But more likely than that are spine ticks that break color. They're those little bends that happen on the spine, and when they happen like that on a super dark color of cover like this, front and back, the ink's gonna flake off, and there goes your 9.8 every single time. There goes your 9.8. So tough to find this in a good condition. Pop 1 of 1, none higher. Steph Curry, first cover. Good box, really good box. Again, follow me on social media, CGC Sports Illustrated, the same on all platforms. Download my podcast, do me a favor, subscribe here on YouTube. These are a ton of fun. I've gotten back into a regular cycle now where I regularly submit to CGC, so now we should be where these unboxing videos are gonna happen on a, maybe not weekly basis, but a couple times a month, hopefully going forward. If you have ideas for a future podcast or video, please drop a comment here on YouTube, DM me on social media. That's how I come up with the ideas for my videos and my podcasts, is suggestions from you. So please go ahead and do that, and we'll do it again real soon. Thanks.